I had the cataract surgery, I had monovision, so I read with my left eye and drive with my right.
See, now that was,
I used to have contacts that way. I
really,
liked it, yeah.
did you like it? Now, see,
Yeah.
they tried me with the contacts like that, and it made me nauseous.
When you first put them in, if you think about it, you go blurry. And if you're just going about your business, you're fine.
Yeah,
That's
and they
fine.
offered that, but I just told them I'd rather be able to see all of this and not have, and then be able to just wear readers,
Well, I
$2
request-
readers from,
I requested.
Yeah.
I think I can have Alan change that. What should?
and I
I've
have
seen
this
more
lifetime
people out walking
guarantee,
around
so if
today.
one
It's
starts
crazy.
going down.
It's beautiful.
things
We
like
took a
that.
walk and automatically more people. It's crazy.
I wish I should have.
I mean, I don't know, but I took 2 naps today. I must be like completely worn out.
I was
Yeah.
pretty
Alright.
impressed. I was pretty impressed, and I've had ulcers, and they end up having to do things.
About it, Dale?
Maybe I don't understand that
Yep.
correctly, but I'll ask him about that.
Good evening, it is 7:30, time to call the regular meeting, or irregular, I should say, meeting of the Washington Courthouse City Council to order. We will begin with the invocation by Mr. Schultz, and the pledge will be led by Mr. Hawk. If you will
Okay.
stand, please.
Yes, all rise. Please bow your heads. Lord, thank you for letting us gather here tonight. Give us the strength, the stability, the persistence, the ability to make the right decisions for the citizens in the city of Washington Courthouse. Help us all to stay safe and in good health. Thank you for being there, and thank you for listening to us, and thank you for everything. And in your name, Lord, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Roll call, please.
Schultz,
Here.
Blair,
Here.
Hawk, Hernandez,
Here,
Johnson, Lynch, Chrisman.
Here. Next would be the approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held March 11th, 2020. Any questions, comments, changes?
If there is none, I'll make the motion to accept the minutes as they are.
second,
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez,
yes,
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. The business session is next. Number 1 is public hearing joint economic agreement with Jefferson Township. Mr. Denon, have you had any emails, phone calls?
No, I
letters?
have not, and there's nobody else here with us tonight.
Okay. We'll close the public hearing then. We'll move in, how about communications, Mr. Denon?
None.
Thank you. Reports of council committees. Kendra, you wanna give your report? It's short and sweet.
sure can. The Economic Strategies and Cooperation Committee met in the lower level conference room of 105 North Main Street on Monday, March 16th, 2020 at 4 p.m. I presided, and those in attendance were Mr. Dale Lynch, council member, Mr. Steve Schultz, council member, Jim Kristen, council chairperson, Mr. Jim Blair, council member, and Mr. Joseph Denon, city manager. Number 1, due to the recent coronavirus pandemic, the Economic Strategies and Cooperation Committee discussed the economic impact of COVID-19. Respectfully submitted, Ms. Kendra Hernandez, chairperson, and Ms. Kelly Ford, recording secretary.
Thank you. Any questions or any comments?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
I'll
Thank you.
second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes,
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. Mr. Lynch, Finance and Personnel meeting.
Yeah, mine's longer.
Yeah, I noticed that.
The Finance and Personnel Committee met in the lower level conference room at 105 North Main Street on Monday, March 16, 2020 at 5 p.m. I presided. Those in attendance were Mr. Steve Schultz, council member, Mr. Jim Chrisman, council chairperson, Mr. Jim Blair, council member, Ms. Kendra Hernandez, council member, Mr. Tom Riley, finance director, Ms. Megan Dumay, Assistant Finance Director, Ms. Mallory Mesner, Assistant Finance Director, and Mr. Joseph Evans, City Manager. One, the committee benefited from a review of the statement of cash for the month ending in February. The administration requested that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, that water service disconnection dates be delayed until May 1st. The committee recommended proceeding. Two, the committee benefited from a review of the investments of the City of Washington Courthouse. Three, the committee discussed the COVID-19 pandemic in relationship to city operations. The administration advised the committee that the city and Fayette County were working in cooperation with Ms. Lee Cannon, Fayette County Health Department. The administration noted that all the city departments were making necessary adjustments. The city manager reviewed said adjustments in detail. Four, the administration advised the committee of an open position in the water department, but noted that steps to fill the position would be delayed until further notice. Five, the committee noted the National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program. The committee recommended that the administration not proceed with the agreement at this time. Six, the administration advised the committee that biometric screening had been offered to employees. And seven, the administration advised the committee regarding the electric aggregation communication being distributed to the citizens. The administration noted that the Energy Harbor was the current supplier for electric aggregation at a price of $4.81 kilowatt hours. The administration noted that a letter is mailed to citizens when a price change occurs to offer citizens the opportunity to decide if they want to opt out or remain an aggregation customer. Respectfully submitted by myself and Ms. Kelly Ford, recording secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Lynch. Any questions, comments?
I'll make a motion that we approve these minutes.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. Reports of city officials. Mr. City Manager, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you. Under current circumstances, we will make this to the point. I would like to thank Lee Cannon and all the staff of Fayette County Public Health for their continued dedication. Would also like to note Julie Bullender from the Chamber of Commerce. She has been incredibly helpful and excellent in her role with the Chamber of Commerce, and the business community in Washington Courthouse has been highly organized around reacting to the COVID-19 challenge. Would also like to thank all city employees for their excellent cooperation and dedication in our current circumstances. Before tonight, I talked with Lee Cannon and asked her, what do you want me to reinforce with citizens? Everyone knows what to do. Social distancing, especially think about how you can limit travel, wash your hands, and use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover coughs and sneezes. We must improve our attention to these simple actions that slow the spread of the virus. At no time in the past has anything I have said in this room been more important than pleading with everyone to observe social distancing and hygiene and to do it now. We control our actions. Within our grasp, in every moment of the day, we have the opportunity, via our attention to simple changes in our behavior, to make a difference. We all know that personal protective equipment is in short supply. We know the hospital and EMS can be easily overwhelmed by a sudden spike in virus infections. We have a duty to our families, friends, and community to change our behavior in simple ways. Many in our community are enduring profound economic uncertainty and hardship. if all of us don't make an effort to slow the spread of the virus, all of our efforts, our inconveniences, the financial costs, and most importantly, the human costs will have been in vain. The seriousness of the situation cannot be understated. Locally, I have confidence in Fayette County Public Health, the hospital, EMS, fire, police, all of our loved services. I worry about the danger they face. I think about how few their number and how meager their supplies. At this point in the story of our community, only you can save them from perils and experiences no person should be asked to endure. For your safety and their safety, please redouble your efforts to slow the spread of the virus. Not all is bleak. We have our strengths: community, cooperation, organization, and compassion. Beyond our small corner of the world, the collective medical resources of the entire earth focus upon fighting the disease. And in that great struggle, you have a part to play. You may think hand washing and the like is trivial, but you must do it. Your life and scores of other lives, our financial future, depend on you. Forget for a moment the television, the politics, the media. Go to a mirror and look at yourself. Say, I can do this. I am not a prisoner of fear. I know what to do, and I can get the job done. It's very simple, but you must do it. Thank you.
Very well said, Mr. Denon. Any questions or comments for Mr. Denon?
I do have one thing.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Denham. I had a citizen email me about possibly having a fire truck, a tanker truck to the tennis courts to hose off the courts because of all the mud.
We can certainly do that.
Okay.
As soon as we can, we'll be cleaning up the parks as soon as they dry out a little bit more. Service will be working on that. I'm trying to think how close pavement is. We'll be happy to hose that off. It might be a little bit of time until that ground firms up enough to take a truck relatively close.
Okay, thank you,
But
sir.
as soon as it firms up, we'll be down there and do that.
I will pass that on.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Denon, you and I talked about this a little, and I saw in the article in the paper that you wrote that people are not to play on the different playground things at the park.
Yes, sir.
Good advice. We also talked briefly, and I don't know that there was any resolution to it. What about the golf course? What's the advice there, or is there any?
I believe that the golf course can remain open. If my recollection of a conversation I had with Lee is correct, I believe that that is the situation, but I've had a lot of things to carry around in my head lately, Dale. But I believe that it will be open. I might be mistaken about that. I will check that tomorrow. I'll probably wait till the afternoon when they'll be not as occupied as they are with some other tasks in the morning, and I'll check that for you.
I saw a report from a golf course, I believe it was in Georgia, I'm not sure, where they were keeping it open, but you can only have one person in a cart, and they were doing things to keep people apart, and it seemed to be fairly sensible, but at the same time, if we're told we shouldn't have it open, then we shouldn't have it open, so. I was just interested, I've seen people out there playing golf.
Yeah.
And so I know it is of interest, it is outdoors. It would be the same way with tennis as far as I can see. You're separated across the net. But I don't know. People are looking for ways to get exercise,
Yeah.
things like that. So I just didn't mean to ask you something you might not know the answer
No,
to.
I believe I do, but I'll want to make sure tomorrow.
What are they doing about the kids that wanna play basketball down there? There's usually a group of them down there.
Basketball that's playground equipment.
There you go.
There was an
That's
issue
playground.
earlier this evening. I asked Street the other day so that we don't get in the middle of the argument to just take down the rooms temporarily at the
Okay.
public parks.
What about the skateboard area? So you that's playground equipment.
Playground equipment, but you're spread out a little bit more. I'll talk with the health department about
Yeah,
that and we'll
okay.
observe how kids are using that.
Because since you brought that up, there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be asking these questions, like you did, Jim. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of folks asking those questions about playground. Is this playground equipment? Is this not playground equipment?
Yeah,
And
the
the tennis court
basketball
could
we
be
already
considered- it's in the
determined
park.
was
Mm-hmm.
the same thing as playground equipment.
Yeah, I got you.
That's a good point. Today I was observing the golf course and there were several carts on the course
Mhm.
and there was one person in each
Each
cart.
cart.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
they
with
have.
basketball too, you're all touching the same ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And to do it, unless you're all shooting from the 3-point line, I
Yeah.
don't think the other side would let you.
No.
You know, their defense encourages that, you know, you get up in their face and that should be avoided.
But I was just thinking, because that would be a thing with people, the kids out of school, they're gonna go down to the basketball court.
Well, and another thing, actually, another question, some things I saw today, most of our businesses are doing really, really great, but I did notice, and maybe it's just the layout, it's obviously hard for some businesses with limited space up front when they're taken out. They're placing takeout orders, but there's limited space and they're not exactly making sure that people are 6 feet apart. I noticed like downstairs in our lobby, we did a really great job marking X's.
Mhm.
And that should be encouraged, but maybe even, you know, if they have limited lobby space and they have to go out on the sidewalk, get some chalk and just chalk X's if you have to, but keep your customers 6 feet apart, that way they're not encouraged to cram up and, you know, breathe down each other's necks.
Mhm.
Anything else on Mr. Denham's report?
No, good speech. Thank you very much, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
job.
Fantastic.
Mr. Riley's not in the house, I don't believe, so we'll pass on him. Mr. City Attorney, you have anything for us?
I have no report.
Oh, I thought he did. He was standing up. He tricked us all
Taking
out.
us out, wasn't it? Yeah.
And I think we'll have to pass on local residents as taxpayers. Legislation previously introduced, item A is ordinance number 2, 2020, third reading.
I'll move that we place ordinance number 2, 2020 on third reading.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes,
Chrisman.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2-2020, an ordinance approving a joint economic development agreement with Jefferson Township, Fayette County, Ohio.
move for passage.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Yes.
Hawk. Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes,
Chrisman.
Yes. Item B, ordinance number 3, 2020, second reading.
I'll move that we place ordinance number 3, 2020 on second reading.
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
That'd been my first second. Way to go, Caleb.
He first you before you second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
yes,
Chrisman.
Yes.
Ordinance number 3-2020, an ordinance authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, or his designee, to abate public nuisance at 1227 Willard Street, authorizing a private contract for the payment of the abatement of nuisance, and directing the collecting of the cost of the abatement of nuisance from the owner of the property.
Thank you. Item C, ordinance number 4, 2020, second reading.
I'll I'll move that we place ordinance number 4, 2020 on second reading.
A second.
Gotta be quick.
I'm waiting for Kendra to get here.
Okay. Any discussion on this item? How about roll call, please?
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch, Christman.
Yes.
Ordinance number 4-2020, an ordinance authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the city of Washington courthouse, or his designee, to abate public nuisance at 313 Worley Street, authorizing a private contract for the payment of the abatement of nuisance, and directing the collecting of the cost of the abatement of nuisance from the owner of the property.
Item D, ordinance number 5, 2020, second reading.
I'll move that we put ordinance number 5, 2020 on second reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this one? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Ordinance number 5-2020, an ordinance authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the city of Washington courthouse, or his designee, to abate a public nuisance at 403 East Elm Street, authorizing a private contract for the payment of the abatement of nuisance, and directing the collecting of the cost of the abatement of nuisance from the owner of the property.
Item E, resolution number R10, 2020, second reading.
I'll move that we place resolution number R10, 2020 on second reading.
Go ahead, Jim.
No, I've done mine for the night.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion on this one?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I was just gonna ask a question. How long, what are we doing on this one? Can we put it off for how
The
long?
large equipment purchases, by passing the legislation, you will authorize them.
Right.
However, given economic uncertainty, normally an equipment purchase like this, council would authorize it and then we would proceed with the purchase. In this case, if council votes in the affirmative, it would be authorized. We will not execute the action until we have a better sense of financial condition.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Resolution number R10-2020, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the city of Washington courthouse, to enter into a contract with Ohio Cat for the purchase of a Caterpillar 420 backhoe.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Item F, resolution number R11, 2020, second reading.
I'll move that we place resolution number R11, 2020 on second reading.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Resolution number R11-2020, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the city of Washington courthouse, to enter into a contract with Ohio Cat for the purchase of a Caterpillar 259D3 high-flow loader.
Move for passage.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll
Okay.
call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Item G, resolution number R12, 2020, second reading.
I move we place resolution number R12, 2020 on second reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Resolution number R12-2020, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the city of Washington courthouse, to enter into a contract with Vermeer for the purchase of a Vermeer Vactron CV573 SGT vacuum excavator.
Move for adoption.
Yeah.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Item H, resolution number R 13, 2020, second reading.
I'll move that we place resolution number R 13, 2020 on second reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, what was the cost of that particular contract for this stormwater system? I don't recall. I was in the meeting, subcommittee, but I'm not sure. I'd like-
Legislation there, Kelly?
I'm looking real quick. For the R13,
Yes.
looks like it was $42,800.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 13-2020, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, to enter into a contract with EMH&T for the 2020 Stormwater System GIS development.
I'll move for adoption.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Item I, resolution number R 14, 2020, second reading.
Move we place resolution number R 14, 2020 on second reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this one? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 14-2020, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, to award a one-year contract to Jason Beekman, Beekman Farms, for the rent of farmland owned by the city located at 1675 Old Chillicothe Road, Washington Courthouse.
I'll move for adoption on that.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Moving into new legislation in writing, resolution number R 15, 2020, first reading.
I move that we place resolution number R 15, 2020 on first reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? You don't know the price per ton, do you, Joe? Just out of curiosity. About 30 or 40 bucks.
Oh, I have that one with me.
It should be.
It's in this one.
I did that now. I'll find out later.
Hold on here.
Maybe it isn't even in there.
I think that we just have to pass a resolution that says that we want to participate.
Okay, okay. That's fine. No big deal.
And then we send it off to ODOT, and then we get a price later on, if I remember correctly.
Does ODOT, do they do the negotiating on the price?
Yeah, they're basically, you're pooling together municipalities in the state of
Okay.
Ohio,
That makes
and you
sense.
bid it out for the
Okay.
big amount.
Thank you.
Make it-
Doesn't say in there.
No,
No,
it
it
doesn't,
doesn't.
no. Because right now you pass the resolution that says, yeah, we want to participate.
Possibly because of the negotiating, they could be one price and it could end up with a whole different price by the time the negotiating's over with, or whatever the group they buy from.
Well, salt's sort of like other commodities. In theory, if you don't use a whole lot in the winter, the next winter it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a surprising number of things that people who sell salt claim increases the price of it.
Is it as cheap as gas right now?
No, but
Yeah, trust me, I've dealt with salt companies. I know
Yeah.
it's about like oil companies.
you know, if it's a mild winter, then they claim that, you know, the Mississippi's flooded and you can't ship it around on barges, and then, you know, you get everything else.
Yeah. I've sold or crystal salt for 30 or 40 years, and the story always was the sun and the wind dry it. There's really no energy used until they want a price increase. Well, we have to, it's wet. We got to use propane. So you ain't ain't gonna get ahead of it. Anyway, any other discussion on this one? Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 15-2020, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager, to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the purchase of bulk highway rock salt.
Thank you. Miscellaneous, I'll start with Mr. Johnson and go around this direction.
Yeah, I'd like to thank, everyone here for accommodating the distance. I'd like to thank, everyone at home for, putting up with it. I'm sure that Kelly's been flashing back and forth between the cameras, or however she does it, so. Thank you to you two as well, Kelly. Joe said something, earlier, which, I think really gets to the heart of it, is that, simple changes in our behavior, make a difference. And so, whether that's, I don't know if anyone watched the House and Senate of Ohio today, but you saw a lot of them in casual attire, because casual attire is washed more often than formal attire. So if you've ever needed an excuse to wear sweatpants to work, coronavirus is that excuse. Hand washing, like Joe said, I wear gloves just because I'm always touching my face, and so I find that the gloves are also a reminder not to touch your face, of course. But wash your hands all the time. Even with the gloves, I go home, first thing I do is I wash my hands.
You take your gloves off first.
That's true. I do that in the garage. That way the gloves never come into the house. And of course, I think that a lot of businesses, like I said earlier, are doing really, really well with this order if they're, calling themselves essential or whatever. Especially the food people. A lot of them got on DoorDash, a lot of them delivering. A lot of them have, little signs or something, call in and we'll deliver out to your car if you drive up. I think that all of those things are very good. Again, if the businesses, if anyone's listening, or if you know a business owner, tell them, figure out a way to make sure the customers who come in for those takeout orders aren't cramming up against one another. The things like these are just so important. The health department's doing a great job. They're gonna enforce a lot of these complaints that are coming in. So all of these little changes add up. So thank you to everyone who's following this order, especially as we got our first case here in Fayette County this week, so.
Thank you. Mr. Hawk.
I thank God for the good leadership that we have locally and nationally, and I pray that it'll continue that way. And in an emergency, it takes people with resolve to lead us through it, and I pray the Lord will continue to help us with that.
Thank you. Mr. Lynch.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Denon, Mr. Chrisman, and all the people who have been working together to keep our citizens informed of what's going on locally. And I appreciate that very much, as well as all the health department and everybody who's having to work now, like some of us who just stay at home. I appreciate all their efforts. It is a difficult time. During this difficult time, it's funny, there's still a lot of humor that comes out of it. Some of it I think we need for sure. But there's also a lot of serious things that come out of it. I was glad, and I hope the House follows, to see that the Senate is in the process of passing legislation that will help many in this room who have businesses, small businesses, and their own businesses. And in something funny I was watching, because what else do you do? YouTube last night, and I went on YouTube and saw Al Holbrook doing Mark Twain, because I love that Mark Twain information. And one of his comments was, Mark Twain's comments was, that God created idiots for practice, and then he created Congress. The fact that Congress is coming through with help for people, I think says a lot, Ted, about what's going on. And the only problem I ever have with our leadership at any level, and we haven't had that locally or even in the state, the leadership at any level is when they make it a political issue. Personally, I get my hope from another source a little higher than even the president. Romans 5:3-5 says, "Not only so, but we also rejoice in our suffering, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not disappoint us, because God has poured out His love into our hearts by the Holy Spirit, whom He has given us." That's where I get my hope from, and I think that's the best place to get hope from. I have read many other things as I've had more time to read than ever that apply to this, but I'll save those for another evening. So that's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Mr. Blair?
I would like to thank Mr. Liz for not continuing on and saving some of this for a later time. But I will say amen to your scripture reading. I echo that 100%. Very good. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Schultz?
You know, this whole thing, it has put a lot of strain on a lot of people, and I know it's difficult for all of us to stay put, you might say. I think about the people at our hospital. We have a small hospital. If we get a bad situation where you had a lot of patients coming in, I don't think they could handle it. That would be difficult out there. I understand right now there's 2 nurses right now that are in quarantine because they were helping the young man that just got released from the hospital. So that's how that happens. So, but on the other side, on the positive side, I took a walk today. My wife and I took a little walk, and you wouldn't believe, nice day, how many people were out. And everybody, I've noticed, very pleasant, very nice. We're all in the same situation, and we all know that, and we all want to get out of our houses. So when you go walking around, it's very easy to say hi to somebody and maybe talk to them from a distance, but people will talk to you or wave to you that you wouldn't think would happen before, because everybody's just glad to get out, move around, and still be healthy. So we hope our community stays healthy, and this might help us grow in our community. At least you get to know your neighbors a little better, because everybody, when it's nice weather, is out walking around, and we're all in the same situation. So, but that's my observation of this whole thing. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Biggest thing I would say is I'm just really worried about my fellow small business owners. I've talked to a lot of them, and they're very scared. We've got one business owner whose husband is extremely sick, and her income from her store is the only extra income they have. So if you have the opportunity to support now, or even after all the craziness is over, please make that a priority, because they're the foundation of our America. I mean, that's how we started, and if we don't have those small businesses, we lose a lot of our personality, I guess, as a community. And and I think that everyone I've spoke to, their faith is strong, and they believe that God will endure this for them. And but just can't stress it enough for them. So that's it.
Thank you. I'd like to kind of reiterate on some of the things that Mr. Denon said. We've had excellent rapport with all the county agencies, city employees, county employees, EMS, health department. I mean, Ms. Havens at the emergency management, everybody, and we'll get through it. We're going to lose some people, hopefully not locally, but hopefully nobody, but it's going to happen. That's about all I have. Thank everybody and all the city employees. every department does a good job.
That's a
So-
good thing, yes.
How about a motion for adjournment, please?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Thank you all. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Stay safe.